And for those of you new to me, I am Karen Lestrup, and I am an astrologer, and I post monthly forecasts. So if you haven't been listening to yours, please feel free to go to my channel at Pleiades Stars and listen to your monthly forecasts. But here in this sequence, it's going to be all about palmistry. Now, I've been dabbling in palmistry ever since the mid-70s when I started out with astrology as well. And I've come to develop deep respect for it because the two of them really work well together. See, all the fingers and all the mounts, they all relate to an astrological planet. And when we see and understand how these merge and melt, this helps us as a wonderful tool that the universe has been giving us that we can work with. After all, it being the God's map, it shows you where you're coming from, where you're at, where you're heading. The lines will change when you change your mind or you change your life. It all shows up. So I would like to share this with you, and I'm going to do it in a way of putting up several posts where we go into all the main lines. Then with subcategories, we'll go in and do small videos with all the different signs that you can find on your lines, because all of them have different meanings. All of them have different interpretations for what and how it affects your life. So be sure to subscribe just so you can get in here every week. We're going to have a new chapter which will bring new insights to you. I'm going to start you off with a couple of videos here right now just so you can get a feel for it. But then every Sunday it will be scheduled to be released directly to your inbox so that you can follow with us and what we are doing here. So have a good one, everyone, and let's just go to the first video here. So let's start looking at the major lines, and we have 4 of them. A is the one that wraps around your thumb. It encircles the Mount of Venus. This is your lifeline, and it runs from the inside of your thumb up here where we consider age 0. This is birth up here, and then your lifeline runs down here. And we'll get back to at a later time here how we section up the timing of it so you can figure out what happens when. But we want healthy lines. All our major lines, we want them healthy. No ditches, no holes, no loops, no chains. The stronger they are, the healthier they are. Now, the headline here on B, it doesn't have to be attached. Most people will perhaps have them attached up here. They don't need to be. If there's a gap between the two of them, just shows that you're headstrong and you're independent, because the lifeline here not only shows your health and age, but it shows your attachment to family. So if you have an opening here, it shows that you are, like I said, headstrong and an individualistic person. And but B shows your mental capacities, how you think. The length of it has an important meaning, whether it forks or if it's single, if it's deep. You don't want chains or loops or holes in your headline. If there's a lot of potholes in here, that can show, perhaps that there's migraines going on over a certain period of your life. So yes, we want them strong. We're going to talk about each of these lines a little bit deeper here as we go on. Line C is the so-called fate line, or your career line here. And it runs from the bottom of your palm here straight up to Saturn. Now, not all people have this line in one full line. Sometimes it'll just come in bits and pieces. We'll talk about that as well. But this is where your career line or your line of fate runs. Now, D is your heart line. This is also called a love line. And of course, like with all the other lines, we want to see it nice and deep, strong, not too chainy. We like to see it, healthy. And the length of this line can always differ from hand to hand, but it does show significant personality traits. If you have a long one, shows more depth spiritually, emotionally. If it stops under Saturn here, we will see that it's more of a convenient love, practical love, where you're looking for security in a partner, perhaps more than the romantic love that we'll have with a long heart line. We'll get back to that too. So